breaking news coming in. Prime Minister Narendra Modi's special flight has arrived. It's landed at the Maharshi Valmiki International Airport here in Ayodhya. The Prime Minister has reached Ayodhya. The Prime Minister will be greeted and received by the Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath. The Prime Minister will also be received by the Union Civil Aviation Minister Jyotiraditya Scindia, the Union Railways Minister Ashwini Vaishnav also there, along with General V.K. Singh, Minister of State, Road Transport and Highways, Keshav Prasad Maurya and Brijesh Pathak, the two Deputy Chief Ministers of Uttar Pradesh, also at the airport to receive Prime Minister Narendra Modi. So this is a huge event as far as the run-up to the consecration ceremony is involved. 46 projects worth 15,700 crore rupees, close to 16,000 crore rupees, either to be dedicated to the nation or to be launched by Prime Minister Narendra Modi right where we are standing at this Sabhagar, where the Prime Minister will address a rally. After that roadshow that starts from the railway station, the Ayodhya Dham railway station, and comes all the way to the airport. But all along, so there are devotees, pilgrims and tourists who've lined up on either side, whether it's at Hanuman Garhi or the number of temples that dot the skyline in that area, then the Lata Chowk, a very prominent part of Ayodhya now, on right close to the Ram Ki Pedi. And I once again want to bring in my colleague Paulami Saha for more on this. Paulami, there was some apprehension because of the thick fog, this thick dense fog in this area, that the Prime Minister's flight may be delayed. Initially it was said he may have to either advance his visit or postpone it, but he's landed and then this grand event begins, Paulami.
That's right. The Prime Minister has just landed on the tarmac at the Maharshi Valmiki International Airport, Ayodhya Dham. So that's the first flight, quite interestingly, that has in fact touched down on this airport. Of course, we saw a lot of dignitaries enter the airport to welcome the Prime Minister. But the pictures that are just coming in, you see Governor Anandiben Patel and Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath lead, of course, the delegation of dignitaries who are in fact present in order to, of course, receive Ayodhya. Today, of course, personally also of somber reflection for the Prime Minister. This was his mother as well. And today, of course, he has a lot of Ayodhya, something that has been part of his vision to achieve in a way with, of course, each of these today, and of course culminating with that consecration, the Ram Mandir on the 22nd of January. Will be headed out from the airport shortly. The entire with him as they reach the railway station, where flagging off Amrit Bharat Express trains and Vande Bharat Express railway projects as well, before he comes back again to this new airport, the Maharshi Valmiki International Airport, going to become another big gateway for Hindu pilgrims. Those, of course, who believe in religious tourism into Ayodhya as well. So no longer will you have to a flight and then drive down to Ayodhya. You can, in fact, directly. So those inaugural flights today, Indigo and Air India Express. Inaugural flights and commercial operations will begin in January, where from Mumbai, from Ahmedabad, from Kolkata, from Bengaluru, that will be connected with Maharshi Valmiki Dham. Gaurav.
Tell me, the dream is even bigger. The an international airport, the effort is Indian civilizational roots of or those that the British had taken from Bihar to work in the Pacific who live in Fiji, those who live in Suriname, permit, all that they carried with them was the those Girmitiyas, their descendants, they come, and when they come back, they land at the Ayodhya airport with our civilizational roots. Now that also makes these stronger. There is so much that effort to make Ayodhya the civilizational Bharat that actually is now taking off.
Of course, been the vision, the dream as far as, and something that the Bharatiya Janata Party had envisioned for time. It took a long court battle, of course, to reach then the construction of the Ram Temple, which to the nation in the month of January next year. But yes, we've seen glimpses of it from the outside, and it is definitely a gateway for anyone who wants to know why this place is special, why, of course, it is known as the birthplace of Lord Ram. What is the story behind it, the epic tale that, of course, in families and Hindu families, of course, you've heard of, you've probably watched on television as well as children, some depiction of it. But this is, of course, paintings and murals that you see inside the terminal building, which will tell you that very story. The essence of this, the aesthetic sense and the design of the airport was to ensure that you get a sense of why Ayodhya is special and why this airport is special and who this airport is named after. Maharshi Valmiki, who of course wrote the epic tale Ramayana, he of course the airport has been named after him. After many thought that initially the name would be Maryada Purushottam Sri Ram International Airport, the government of course announced that the name will be Maharshi Valmiki International Airport, Ayodhya Dham. So there is a lot of civilizational ethos and essence which is attached to this airport in itself. And like I said, the government and the Ministry of Civil Aviation has been very clear that every airport should seem like a gateway to that city, to that town. So when you enter that airport, when you arrive and land in that city, and the first portal that you're sort of crossing into when you enter the city is the airport terminal building in itself. It should reflect the ethos of that city. It should give you a sense of what that city stands for, what that city is famous for maybe. So that is exactly what this entire airport is built around, and that is the ethos that will be, of course, spreading through the town of Ayodhya in the run-up to that consecration ceremony as well. The Prime Minister, of course, like I said, he will first be headed towards the railway station before he comes back to inaugurate the airport.
Brilliant.